From Carrie Strug making an incredibly difficult landing while being injured, to Simone Biles makes waves by winning gold medals at her debut in Rio, here are gymnastics' most memorable moments. Let's kick things off with a nail-biter from 1996, where Strug managed to stick an insane landing. This was a big moment at the time, since the US women's gymnastics team was barely hanging on at the Atlanta Olympics. They had a slim 0.897-point lead over Russia, entering the final rotation in the team competition. And at that point, it seemed like only a miracle would change the tide for the US team. But guess what? That's exactly what happened when Carrie Strug took over. Now, her first attempt didn't go as planned because she took a fall and injured her left ankle, but with Russia's Rosa Golieva still waiting to perform in the floor exercise, Strug knew she had to muster all her strength and stick to her second attempt to secure that golden victory. So she turned to her coach Bella Carioli and asked if she wanted her to vault again, to which the coach said absolutely. After that, Strug gathered every ounce of willpower she had and limped her way to the end of the runway. And then came the moment when the gymnast defied all odds and stuck that landing like a true champion. Her incredible score of 9.712 sealed the deal, securing a gold medal for the US team. Can you believe she pulled off this mind-blowing feat while she was suffering a third-degree lateral sprain and tendon damage? You best believe the media outlets went crazy talking about this gymnast's sheer determination. But sometimes a lot of news coverage around somebody's win doesn't always translate into something good. Take Paul Hamm winning a gold medal in 2004 as an example. That year, Hamm's journey quite literally had its ups and downs. At first, he nailed his first 3 rotations like a champ, soaring through the air with finesse. But then, things went downhill when on the vault because he stumbled and almost crash-landed into the judges' table. Sadly, that mishap earned him a score of 9.137, dropping him down to 12th place in the competition. But hey, the show wasn't over yet. Hamm got back up again, dusted himself off, and gave it his all on the parallel bars. He swung with so much grace it almost seemed like he defied gravity. And it wasn't just the crowd that was wowed, but even the judges gave him a solid 9.837. Then it all came down to the final event, the high bar. And yet again, the gymnast showcased his jaw-dropping skills, and nailing another score of 9.837, things were going perfectly for Paul until some controversy erupted. Apparently, the judges mistakenly gave Yang Tae-young a start value of 9.9 on his parallel bars routine when it should have been a perfect 10. This blunder was big because without it, Yang would have been standing first in the final standings. In the end though, despite owning up to the mistake, officials decided not to change the results. This meant that Paul's win would be marked with controversy despite working so hard. As bad as that sounds, there have been other moments in American gymnastics history when the underdogs shocked the world fair and square. The most famous one being when the US won and snatched the gold right under China's nose in 1984. You see, while Mary Lou Retton was basking in the glory of her all-around title, the American men were facing a monumental challenge. They were up against the mighty Chinese team in a competition where very few people thought they could win. But you know what they say, never underestimate the underdogs. Because Peter Vidmer and Tim Daggett ended up leading the team with incredible performances and even scored a perfect 10 on the high bar, which launched them into the lead during the compulsory round. And guess what? They didn't let go of that advantage in the optionals either. But it was Mitch Gaylord's routine on the high bar during the final rotation that sealed the deal. He pulled off his signature move, aptly named the Gaylord 2, and effectively drove the team to victory. To this day, this moment means a lot because it remains the one and only Olympic team gold medal in US men's gymnastics history. Speaking of things that never happened again, Olga Korbut performed such an incredibly difficult routine in 1972 that the Korbut flip was later banned for being too risky. That year at the Munich Olympic Games, a fearless 17-year-old left everyone in awe because this gymnast didn't just bring her A game. She brought a whole new era of gymnastics, dominated by young, flexible ladies. But Olga wasn't just about the moves. Even her showmanship had a performance value that was out of this world. That isn't to say that it was smooth sailing for Olga at the 1972 Olympics. gymnastics because after a disappointing uneven bars routine, she shed tears of disappointment that touched many hearts that day. But Corbett didn't give up, and a few days later, during the apparatus finals, she proved how tough she was by winning gold medals in the balance beam and floor exercise finals. And while the Corbett flip became revolutionary for having extremely dangerous moves, Olga performed it like it was a piece of cake. But as talented as she was back in her time, she's not the only one who has surprised people over the years. Carly Patterson also exceeded everyone's expectations in 2004 when she shocked the world with her killer beam dismount. Back in 2004, it had been a solid 2 decades since Mary Lou Retton captured American hearts in Los Angeles, and the US was hungry for another individual all-around Olympic title. All eyes were on Russia's Svetlana Korkina as the favorite, and it seemed like America had still failed to come up with its own prodigy. That ended when Carly made an entrance. She had already impressed everyone as the 2003 runner-up at the Gymnastics World Championships, and after Patterson showed up in Athens, her flawless performances made everyone realize she was here to make history. But it was her beam routine that left everyone breathless. That near-perfect groove, topped off with a killer dismount, secured her the lead, which she never let slip away. Safe to say, at this moment, Carly Patterson became a true pioneer in American gymnastics. Then fast forward to the 2012 London Olympics, and we witnessed another groundbreaking moment when a 16-year-old American gymnast, Gabby Douglas, stole the show and made history of her own. Not only did she win the gold medal in the women's gymnastics individual all-around competition, but she became the first African-American woman to achieve such a feat. Hell, the crowd at the North Greenwich Arena couldn't contain their excitement as Douglas soared through her routines and got impressive scores across the board. But it wasn't just a solo act for Gabby. She was part of the Fierce 5 team, who also secured the gold medal in the all-around team competition. This made them only the second US team to achieve such a victory since the iconic Magnificent 7 in 1996. Gabby's triumphs still didn't stop there because she became the first American to snag gold medals in both the team and individual all-around competitions. That's gotta be a big flex. But what's even more insane is performing at the Olympics for the first time and managing to win gold medals like a pro? Sounds impossible, right? Well, Simone Biles did just that. Ever since her breakout performance at the World Championships in 2013, Biles had been dominating the sport like no other while snatching up 10 world titles along the way. So when she made her Olympic debut in Rio, we knew we were in for something special, and boy did she deliver. Simone was part of the US team that completely owned the competition, sweeping to gold in the team all-around event. You see, they didn't just win, they crushed it after finishing a massive 8.209 points ahead of Russia and China. So by the time Simone stepped onto the floor for her routine, it looked like the gold medal was practically in their pockets. But did she take it easy? Hell no. This gymnast went all out and blew everyone away with her incredible skills and artistry. The crowd was mesmerized as she performed to Brazilian music and scored an unbelievable 15.800. Also, with a sky-high total score of 62.198, Simone claimed the all-around gold medal with a 2-point lead over her teammate Aly Raisman. According to Nadia Comaneci herself, Biles' performances were a magnificent success, and even in the years to come, Simone's talent, dedication, and jaw-dropping performances have solidified her place in gymnastics history. She's a force to be reckoned with, and we can't wait to see what she'll accomplish in the future. So there you have it, from Simone Biles making waves by winning gold medals at her Olympic debut in Rio, to Kerri Strug making an incredibly difficult landing while being severely injured, these were gymnastics' most memorable moments.